I've seen a couple of posts on TikTok over the last couple of days from people who are like economists or who are in that universe. And they're predicting that with what Donald Trump is doing with tariffs, what he's doing with firing so many federal workers, that he's driving the United States to what is going to be a deep, deep, deep recession. Tariffs on their own are going to raise prices on goods here at home, could raise inflation. Inflation is already higher right now than it was under Joe Biden. And he and Elon Musk have been firing tens of thousands of American workers from the federal government. And again, it's like this first time in my lifetime that a president has begun a term by firing tens of thousands of Americans. Never happened before in my lifetime. Doesn't seem like a great plan, but whatever. What do I know? But his OMB director, Russ Vought, sent out a directive to all federal agencies saying that there are going to be massive layoffs and firings between now and March 13th, roughly 2 weeks from now. And Donald Trump said today that potentially 1 million federal workers will be fired. There are 2.3 million federal employees in the executive branch, excluding the military. And they're going to fire half of them? I mean, that will have the net impact of basically within the first 6 weeks of Donald Trump's presidency, he will have made unemployed right around 1.2 million Americans who 2 months ago were gainfully employed with full-time jobs. Now, why would that drive us into a recession? Well, again, it's like this is going to have ripple effects throughout the entire economy. It's not just, these people take the money that they earn at their federal jobs and they go out and spend it in the public sector on things like food and clothing and housing and education and, gas and groceries and eggs. So if they fire 1.2 million Americans within the first 6 weeks of Trump's second term, unemployment rate's going to skyrocket. And that would indicate a significant strain on the economy. All of these people are going to be signing up for unemployment benefits. And, those are typically, there's some federal resources for those, but a lot of times that's handled at the state level. Consumer spending is going to plummet because these people are, 1.2 million Americans will lose their incomes. Spending will plummet. It's going to hurt retail, restaurants, and consumer-focused businesses. There's going to be a huge impact on supply chains, let alone the stress, the mental strain, the psychological and emotional impacts on each of these workers. There'll be an increase in poverty and homelessness. It'll cause wealth and income inequality to rise even further. And other businesses who depend on, if you're a diner that's near a military base and 700 people get fired, it'll impact businesses like that and the people who work at those. The ripple effect, there will be other layoffs in the private sector if this many federal employees lose their jobs. The ripple effects of this are going to be horrific. And they're doing it on purpose. And presumably, statistically, probably more than 50% of the federal employees that are getting fired voted for Donald Trump. What bigger F around and find out can you imagine? A federal employee who voted for Donald Trump and less than 2 months in, you get fired from your job. It's just stunning and amazing in a really, really bad way.